Coming to you this Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Maybe some of you got started on your weekend early, and so I'm coming to you live. For those of you stumbling across for the first time, it's a series that I do as an attorney of probate and elder law and estate planning attorney. That's called Thirsty Thursday, and so every Thursday I go live about this time and talk about different sort of topics, issues, problems that I see in the world that I live in, the kind of law that I do. My firm is Legacy Planning Law Group. So let's jump in. So today's topic has to do with something called Caregiver Contracts, and really it's a way to help pay a family member who's already providing for the care. So look, I find that a lot of family members, they're willing to provide that care on a voluntary basis, let's say for a parent or a loved one, and they don't expect any compensation in return. But entering into this special kind of contract called a caregiver contract, where the family member really can have a lot of upside, a lot of benefits. The agreement, this caregiver agreement, by the way, it's also known as a personal service contract or a personal care agreement. And this contract, what it does is it rewards the family member who's doing the work, and it can really sort of help alleviate or calm down the potential for, let's say, conflict or tension between family members by making sure that those family members that are doing the work are fairly compensated. It also, this contract can be sort of a key part of what's called Medicaid planning. So a caregiver contract is a great tool to use to spend down savings so that an elderly loved one maybe can more easily qualify for Medicaid long-term care coverage. Now, just some things to keep in mind when doing a caregiver contract. First and foremost, right out of the box, get help from an elder law attorney. It's important that you get help from a good elder law attorney in drafting this contract, especially if the goal is to get qualified for Medicaid. In fact, the staff at the skilled nursing facility are going to tell you, hey, we can't do this kind of contract, an attorney needs to do that. They're going to tell you that straight out. So, and the reason is it needs to be done right the first time, because that contract has to be sent into Medicaid and get their approval. And by the way, as elder law attorneys, we here at Legacy Planning Law Group, we prepare caregiver contracts. Second thing to think about is be specific about the caregiver's duties. Specify them in the contract. So it really should lay these duties out, be as specific as possible, and it could be anything, let's say, driving your loved one to a doctor's appointment, actually sitting in the doctor's appointment, maybe doing grocery shopping, even paying the bills. The length of the term of the contract, it's usually for the elderly person's lifetime. So it's important, projecting into the future, to cover all possibilities and list all possible tasks that would be done, even if they're not currently needed. The contract, by the way, can continue even if the elder, let's say, enters a nursing home where they're going to be getting care from others. It can still be used with the caregiver basically acting as the elderly person's advocate to ensure the best possible care. Another issue to think about is payment. Payment being made to the caregiver can be made either as a lump sum or in installments, weekly, monthly, whatever it might be. Now, for Medicaid planning purposes, a lump sum payment is much better because it uses up the excess assets much more quickly. And thankfully, Medicaid in Florida, the Florida Medicaid program, allows a lump sum payment, which in effect front loads the contract. It's a quick way to sort of shed assets where somebody has too many assets in order to qualify for Medicaid right now. Now, it's also very important to make sure that whatever compensation is laid out in the contract, it's not excessive. You know the phrase, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Don't be a hog. So having excessive compensation, it might be viewed by Medicaid as not compensation, but actually a gift, and that would create a problem for eligibility. And the pay really should be somewhat in line to what other caregivers in the area are making, sort of a market-based rate, and actually maybe a little bit below that to play it safe. So to calculate this lump sum payment, what you do is you take whatever the going rate is turn it into a monthly rate and an annual rate, and then multiply that by the elderly person's remaining life expectancy, how many years they have left to live according to the tables. Medicaid or IRS tables are often used. Another thing to think about, taxes. Keep in mind there are tax consequences to these payments. Why? Because the caregiver is receiving compensation. It's income to the caregiver and will have to pay taxes. And the last thing to think about is other possible sources of payment. If the elder does not have enough money to pay for his or her caregiver, there might be other sources of payment. Think of maybe having a long-term care insurance policy if you're able to get approved for that. That may be a sort of a source of money to pay for caregivers. Also, there may be some state or federal programs that compensate family caregivers. So check with an organization called Elder Source. They're a local organization here in Northeast Florida, a nonprofit that supports seniors, or maybe consider contacting your local council on aging to get more information. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about these caregiver contracts and maybe how the best way is to pay for a family member to provide care, and if you'd like to know how we can help, we'd love to talk to you. So we encourage you to sort of take that first step and schedule a free 15-minute phone call. Just go to our website, legacyplanninglawgroup.com. There's I think it's a blue button called Book Your Free Call. Click on it. Boom, takes you straight to our scheduling calendar, and you'll be able to go ahead and schedule a phone call at a time that works for you. That phone call, by the way, is complimentary. We call it our discovery call. If you've enjoyed this video, we'd ask that you like it. And if you want more information about other topics that relate to sort of wills and trusts and estates and probate and elder law issues, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legacy Planning Law Group. We have a growing library of YouTube videos. So I'm going to give another talk next Thursday at about this time. And so if you're thirsting for knowledge, we will quench your thirst. So Bill O'Leary signing off for now, and go make it a great day and a better world.